Can this heatwave impact potato and tomato prices? Plus, we take a look at why avocado prices jumped by 25% the past week. Then we also take a look at price movements and forecasts for other key commodities in the fruit and vegetable markets of South Africa. Stay tuned for the full breakdown. Brought to you by Zimmatic Irrigation Systems. The rand again held steady the past week, trading on 17 rand 56 against the US dollar. The world is now looking at what will happen in the US elections. If Trump wins, we might see more internal beneficial policies and the rand that can then weaken as a result. With a Harris win, the rand will most likely stay on its stronger level against the US dollar, but it remains a very tricky and unpredictable situation. The latest Brent crude oil price increased to $74.80 per barrel on Monday as OPEC decided to delay December production plans for the second time. This decision aims to stabilize prices amid ongoing economic concerns and prevent potential market oversupply given the uncertainty around demand growth at the moment, especially from China. The war between Iran and Israel also seems to be escalating at the moment, which is also forcing oil prices to be higher. Today, I'm thrilled to bring you an exclusive offer from Zimmatic. For a limited time, you can access significant discounts on their pivots, built tough for today's needs and adaptable for tomorrow's challenges. Zimmatic pivots are designed for efficiency, water conservation, and optimized yield management. Don't miss this chance to invest in a system that's built to grow with you. Just send me a WhatsApp at 073-1402-698 with the keyword pivot to secure your discount today and take the next step towards sustainable, efficient farming. Grow with Zimmatic. Starting with the vegetable markets as usual, we saw that the average national potato price increased slightly last week and traded on 70 rand 18 per 10 kg and is now 19% lower than a year ago, while total volumes are about 5% higher year on year. Last week, large potatoes traded higher on 79 rand, mediums traded on 69 and smalls on 54 rand per 10 kg. Mondials traded higher on 70 rand, Cypherus a bit lower on 78 rand per 10 kg. The high temperatures over the past week can result in higher volumes and quality that can become a bigger issue over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and prices that can come under severe pressure over this period. There is now also tension on the Mozambique border to Maputo that can drive local prices further downward if some of these exports are not realized. However, Natal and the Western Free State regions, or the production regions, can enter into the markets slightly later due to some cold spells a few weeks ago that hampered their growth, which could support prices towards the end of this month again. But for now, expect potato prices to come under severe pressure over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Switching to onions, we saw the average price drop to 48 rand 8 cents per 10 kg. Brown onions dropped to 47, red onions decreased to 74, and white onion prices increased slightly to 50 rand per 10 kg. Large onions traded on 45, mediums on 54, and smalls on 34 rand per 10 kg. We might see prices coming under further pressure this week due to lower export demand and the border that's an issue at the moment, and production levels that can stay on a higher level for now. Tomato prices also increased to 10 rand 21 per kilogram due to 7% less volumes on the markets last week. Large tomatoes traded on 11 rand 41, mediums on 10 rand 60, and smalls increasing slightly to 8 rand 6 cents. We are, however, expecting a significant drop in prices this week due to the heatwave resulting in more volumes entering into the markets at once. The closed border and tension on the border post can also force producers to deliver more on the local markets, which could of course drive prices even lower this and probably next week as well. The carrot price increased slightly last week to 5 rand 62 per kilogram, with volumes also a bit higher over the past week. This price is now about 32% higher than a year ago, while volumes traded about 20% lower year on year. Large carrots traded on R5.91, mediums on R4.88 and smalls on R3.76 per kilogram. It seems that more volumes and lower demand during the coming week or two will result in prices to decrease again, but expect higher demand in December to turn this tide upward again and prices that can trade on a slightly higher level. The average pepper price increased to R14.87 per kilogram and was mostly driven by a 43% increase in the green pepper price specifically, that traded on R11.91 per kilogram last week. We actually saw yellow pepper prices decreasing by about 20% to R19.48, while red pepper prices also dropped by 22% to R21.72 per kilogram. We still anticipate a continued downward trend in the average price in November, but the average price is likely to stabilize in December again due to slightly lower volumes and higher demand expected. The average cabbage price increased to R3.20. Garlic prices also fell down a bit to R57.05 per kilogram. Spinach prices decreased to R2.51. Sweet potato prices increased to R7.68. Pumpkin prices decreased to R2.35. Butternuts increased to R4.13. Green beans also picked up to R12.52, while the latest cucumber price fell to R9.99 per kilogram last week. If you'd like to see more detail on these specific markets, please download our latest reports on amtrends.co.za for free or join one of our WhatsApp groups. But with that, let's take a look at what happened in the fruit markets over the past week. The average banana price increased to R13.95 per kilogram or R251 per 18 kilogram box and is now 20% higher than a year ago and moved well above the price levels that we saw over the past 4 seasons. Supply remains tight with volumes about 8% lower compared to a year ago and the price that broke through its upper resistance levels over the past 2 weeks. I expect prices therefore to remain on a relatively high level until the end of this year due to supply that can remain under pressure. Apple prices increased to R12.15, the pear price rose to R12.93, while the latest orange price increased to R11.20 per kilogram, with all 3 of these markets out of season at the moment. Avocado prices also jumped by more than 24% to R29.69 per kilogram and is now 54% higher than what we saw a year ago. Volumes traded are however 25% lower than a year ago. Viertes increased to 35, Haas on 25 and Pinkertons on 39 rand per kilogram. Prices are expected to climb and peak in January before dropping sharply in February as the new season is likely to start then. Table grape prices decreased to 77.92 with the local season that will come into play very soon. The grape price can therefore drop significantly in December. Pineapple prices traded lower on R11.69 and lemons decreased to R5.71. Meanwhile, blueberry prices recovered to a certain extent, increasing by 6% to R48 per kilogram. Expect more blueberries on the markets, which could force prices downward in November and December. Before we wrap up, I'd like to remind you that there's still space available for sponsorship in our upcoming videos. If you're interested in reaching our audience and showcasing your brand, get in touch now. This video is made possible by Zimmatic Irrigation Systems, which is now offering exclusive discounts on pivots. I'm Dr. Johnny van der Merwe and thank you for watching.